Gentlelady from Iowa, Ms. Miller-Meeks, recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and just like to thank our witness, Mr. Chu. Having been in the hot seat, so to speak, before when I was in State Senate, I know how challenging this can be, and thank you for your demeanor throughout all of this. But certainly, as you can see, in a bipartisan way, we have concerns, and those concerns are valid. And this is a yes or no question. Does TikTok track users' individual keystrokes?
Only for security purposes, for example, detecting bots, but we don't monitor what users say.
So the only purpose that you would monitor keystrokes is for security purposes.
I can get back to you on more specifics, but this is not unlike what many other companies in the industry does.
So the keystroke monitoring does not go beyond what common industry practice in comparison to platforms like Facebook or Instagram use?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And does TikTok keep records of users' credit cards and passwords?
I'm not aware of that. You don't need that to log in. Of course, I can get back to you on specifics if you make a transaction on an e-commerce platform. But regardless, all that US data will be stored within the Project Texas firewall, within the Oracle Cloud infrastructure and overseen by American personnel.
So you would store credit card and password information?
I need to check on the specifics. We are launching a pilot e-commerce plan, and we're making sure that that data is very secure within the Oracle Cloud infrastructure.
I think you've made a point of saying that your platform is not different than other platforms on social media, and therefore are no more responsible than Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or the other social media platforms. The concern, however, comes with where the technology is generated and whom it is owned by. And in the case of other companies, it is generated in the US, under US guidelines, under US privacy laws, with certain parameters versus generated through a parent company, ByteDance, which, as we know, is susceptible to the laws of the Chinese Communist Party, which has access to all of that data and information. And I understand that TikTok has just reinstated Enos Kanter's account recently. So our concern, and the question I have for you is, why would China or the Chinese Communist Party be opposed to a forced sale of TikTok?
I cannot speak on behalf of the Chinese government. I can say that we designed Project Texas to take it forward here in the United States. And again, I believe it offers unprecedented protection for US user data.
Yeah, I think the problem is when there is a lack of transparency, then that leads people to believe that there's something more nefarious and that there is, in fact, data that is captured, is stored, and poses a risk not only to children in the United States, but also poses a risk to national security. With that, I yield the rest of my time to my colleague, Jay Obernolte.
Thank the gentlelady from Iowa for yielding. Mr. Chu, I'd like to continue our discussion about Project Texas and the technical details about what you're proposing to do. So you are migrating all storage of US user data to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, and you think that that'll be done by the end of the year, was that right?
Again, I can get back to you on the technical parts of it. The migration today, by default, all new US data is stored by default already.
Sir, I'm just using what you said in your testimony in your opening here.
It is stored there by default. What I said in my testimony is I'm deleting legacy data that sits in Virginia and Singapore. That's the difference.
When this migration is complete, who will have access to that data?
Right now, a team called TikTok US Data Security, led by American personnel, they have access to that. We have begun this operations already.
Okay, but the app itself has access to the data, correct?
Only through them. Any employees that have the data are through
what
them.
I mean is, like, if I lose my iPhone and I reinstall the app and I put in my username and password, my app will reconnect to the mothership and download some of that data, my settings.
That's not the way it works. No, that's not the way it works. It will go through the Oracle Cloud infrastructure and that team that looks after this.
Yes, I realize that. So let me ask you this. What would prevent, then, someone with detailed technical knowledge of the way the app is constructed from creating an almost identical version of the app that could also access that data?
That's what we are giving you third-party monitors and transparency.
Yeah, but they're monitoring the source code for your app. I mean, the ByteDance, these engineers have been working on this app for years. What would prevent them from making an app that could also access that data?
Congressman, I think we're going into the area where, what if there's a hacker? What if there is this?
Okay.
This
If
is a
you
common
could-
industry problem, as you know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, I see my time's expired. It illustrates the point.
Okay.
I'm just skeptical that you're technically
Gentleman's
able
time
to
has
do
expired,
what you
gentlelady's time
promised.
has expired. Mr. Chair.